Welcome back to Hobnob with Mom, not only where we're cooking for Mom, but also raising awareness for brain aneurysms. Today we're making brownie batter cookies. Let's go. This recipe calls for 2 sticks of butter softened, 1 1/4 cups granulated sugar, 3/4 cup dark brown sugar. I have light brown sugar, that's what I'm using. 1 ounce of unsweetened baking chocolate chips, 3 large eggs at room temperature. I will be subbing with egg. 2 1/2 cups flour, 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon vanilla extract, 1 1/2 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips. All right, let's get cooking. So what we're doing is we're going to melt the unsweetened chocolate first. Ghirardelli milk chocolate flavored melting wafers. Sift together the flour. I don't have a sifter. I don't have a sifter. Is anyone else in a chokehold from the summer I turned pretty? I had no idea I had Amazon Prime. I thought I just paid for shipping. Thank you to my VP of Marketing for showing me that. ASMR. I don't want to do that. So this is now the 2 sticks of softened butter. Added 1 1/4 cups sugar, 3 large eggs. For my mother, to raise brain aneurysm awareness in no way, shape, or form is my mission to scare people or make people nervous about, headaches are normal, headaches are common. The headache that you experience before a brain aneurysm, I've never had one, but I can only imagine how devastating and intense it really is. I'm not here to scare anyone. This is to raise awareness. They are sudden. If one ruptures, it's intense. When my mother had her aneurysm, I was young. I want to say around 12 my tweens. She was outside having a glass of wine at the lake. She came back inside, went upstairs to her bathroom, and ran the water. She was in the garden tub. And then all of a sudden I was upstairs. My sister and my father were watching TV downstairs. And I heard, really like just daunting kind of odd sound. So what I did was I went into the bathroom and she was in the garden tub like this. I'm like, Mom, wake up. Mom, wake up, just because I'm nasty tween. And she wouldn't wake up. So I went downstairs and I went, Dad, something's wrong with Mom. And, Samantha. And I was like, no, something's wrong with Mom. We went upstairs. They called 911. The ambulance came. I went and stayed the night with my neighbors. I'm not a big fan of hospitals. I will never be a big fan of hospitals. My sister and my father went to the hospital. I stayed over at the neighbor's house. And then that was it. She wasn't supposed to survive. God and my father, but her strength most of all was what let her survive. She was in the hospital for an entire year. I only went once, twice. I had to go because my dad was like, oh, Mom's not gonna make it. So we went, but she survived. And then, she came home and we did in-home hospice for a year. We had tremendous help. She was on a tube and all of that. And then they just slowly rehabilitated her. And she was better. She wasn't perfect. She had permanent nerve damage on the left side of her body. She could walk, but she would walk small spots. Like in the kitchen, she would go like this and then use that. And she was, able to move, and she could go up and down the stairs as long as she had something to hold on to. And she got strong. She was doing great. And then I don't know how many years, I have to maybe ask my family, but then she fell and she hit her head, and she lived with it for 20 years. So she was, she got better, but then she just always would get, my sister and I would, whenever she'd fall asleep on the couch, she didn't move or something for we were so whatever, but she'd be asleep on the couch, and then like 2 minutes into, like, mom, wake up. She'll, what? We're like, we just want to make sure you're alive. Things like that. But it's funny, I never really talk about her. I've never talked about her to anyone. I didn't really tell anyone in school when it happened. I dated people, and I purposely kept them away from my family because she's so precious to me. And now here I am telling strangers, so. Okay, back to cooking. Not supposed to cry. I never wanted to be a person that cries, but I'm also happy to know that my Botox is holding it together. It's probably, I need to work that on therapy. And I go to church every single Sunday. I rely on God the most. 100% I rely on God the most. But sometimes you get a little extra help. And here what we're gonna do is add the flour, the cooking powder, the cocoa powder, and then slowly sift it into the mixer. Mom, if you think that this is a good idea, could you drop a penny? Second there is like, how did I forget the cocoa powder? Because the nice manager at Publix, I could not find for the life of me the melting chocolates, and I was staring at them, of course. And he comes up and I was like, where are the melting chocolates? And then we found that, and then I was like, where's the cocoa powder? Let me tell you. That's a half a teaspoon. I should have got dark chocolate. My recipe. Always have to try the batter. Oh. That's good. Here's the finished product. Brownie Batter Cookies. That's good.